For the last 15 years, I was heavily involved in drug development. What we do, we ask someone to bring back a plant from the jungle. Flowers, trees, any plant. And then we give this to the chemists and we say, look, can you analyze this plant for me? But at the end of the day, you get a readout of the components that you find in the plants. You don't always know what these components are, but you see curves with a whole bunch of different peaks. And then suddenly you see a huge peak and then again small peaks. And we came kind of to the conclusion, probably wrongly so, that if you see a huge peak of something in a plant, that's an active substance. Now that's sometimes a very dangerous assumption, because sometimes these little small peaks are as important or more important, because sometimes they regulate the big peaks and all that. So you're getting a readout, and then you tell the chemist, look, I see a big peak, why don't you go back in the laboratory and recreate that synthetically for me? So the next day he goes in the laboratory, starts cooking, and comes back with a substance, a white powder, whatever it might be. And then he said, this is it. And you look at that and say, well, pretty cool. So now you start doing cell line studies. You put, let's say in cancer research, we take very well-known cancer cells that are immortal basically, and we mix them together with these substances that we just synthesize synthetically. And then we see whether it inhibits cancer growth or not. If it does, then we look at some other things, and then we move on to what we call in vivo studies, where we take some animals with well-known cancer models, and then we look at, is it able to basically save that animal or not, or decrease the tumor growth. And then we can move into a human trial. So what we just created is a drug that is made out of a huge peak, only one substance, whereas in the plant that we gave in the first place to analyze, we had maybe up to 2,000. Maybe only 500, maybe 3,000 compounds. So we took one out of it. We now synthesize it so we can give an enormous dose of it, and it will just do one thing typically, because it's one compound. And they will have side effects. Why? Because you're giving an unnaturally high dose of a single thing to a patient that is not natural. Whereas if I could go back to the plant where we started in the first place, I would have something that is very well balanced, and I could give that to the patient. The same substance is in there, but it's natural, it's balanced, and because we have 2,000 compounds in it, or more, we're going to see multiple effects. We're going to not only treat symptoms, we may even treat the cause. This is why lavender or peppermint will do like 40 different things. We call them the army knives of essential oils. And that's, the light I had to go on in my head is, oh my God, this is the same thing I was doing in drug development, but it's the pure form, it's the natural form, it's the complete form.